Let's get into it. It's showtime. It's go time.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, girl, how you?
Hey, boo. I am good.
You
I'm
ready to get
ready.
into it?
I'm ready to get to it. How about
Okay.
you?
I'm going in and making sure that my privacy settings are on the right track this time.
Yeah, we got a little second before people get in here.
Yep, yep, yep. Peace and blessings, y'all. What it do, boo?
What it do? I see us live and clear from my page.
All right.
We're all set. Hello, hello. All right. You all set too?
I'm good.
I could kind of hear backlash. I mean, feedback. I don't know if we're in a live. If you can turn it lower, if you can. Okay, that sounds good. Hello, everyone. Wait, I ate. What's up, everyone? I'm BB Nicole.
I'm Trend, and welcome back to the Beauty Vault.
I'm BB Nicole. I am salon owner at deluxehairgallery.co as well as founder at DHG Pro University.
For the ones that don't
I
know,
know I didn't do it right. It's
I
okay.
got you. Don't you worry about it. I
It's
got you.
deluxehairgallery.co
You
for
know,
the
you know,
ones
you know,
that
look forward to
don't
that part.
know.
That's
I
what I'm
know,
talking
right?
about.
There
That's what I'm
we got
talking
it
about.
right. We got it right. Okay.
I'm Trend, CEO of Totally Trend, and I'm also your co-host here at the Beauty Vault, as well as your co-educator at DHG Pro University. I'm bringing you guys all of the education that I know in the lock industry.
Yeah. So
Hey, hey, hey.
so let's tell the people what we're here to talk about today. Let's get into it. Did we even do our title? Okay.
Yes, you guys, you already know every single week we come to you with a different hot topic, whether it's
Yeah.
about the culture, whether it's about the beauty industry, or just things that we're passionate about in our hearts or in our everyday lives. Today, we want to talk about, we want to talk to the beauty professionals,
For
the
sure.
stylists, the barbers, maybe you're an esthetician, maybe you're a nail tech. You may have some experience with emotionally discounting your services. So we're
Mhm.
going to talk about that today and the pros and cons of that.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we will get into that. But first, let's go ahead and check in.
Let's check in.
Yes, let's do that. All right. I'll go first.
Okay.
So I am sipping on a kombucha mocktail. You know, it's my favorite. Let me get it in frame for you guys. I have raspberries and watermelons inside and a little bit of mango juice and raw kombucha. And grape and cranberry juice as well. So really good, really enjoying that. What you sipping on?
Honestly, I don't want to get on here and lie, but this is the deal. My 15-year old prepared this mocktail today. She has
Mm,
been taking different recipes out of a juicer book, a
yeah,
juicer Bible,
yeah.
and creating recipes and trying different things out, juicing organic fruits. So I
Ooh,
am
yummy.
sipping on that today, and it's pretty darn delicious.
Oh,
I'll
that
make sure
sounds
that I drop the
amazing.
recipe below after this.
Yes, we would definitely do that. So how you feeling mentally?
Um, Today is really, really busy.
Mm,
I am a new homeschool. This is my second week
yeah.
homeschooling, so I am adjusting my schedule a little bit more, and but I really feel good. I don't feel
Hmm.
bad. To be honest, I think a nap took me for like 20 minutes before this live.
I was tempted.
So I'm okay. I'm okay.
Hmm.
How about you? How you feeling?
You know what? I feel like today went really good. I went to work. I never really work on Mondays. I got to the bag, and uh, then what else did I do? Just I don't know. Just today just flowed so good. Like I cooked dinner on time. I made a little money. Had a little bit of relaxation, manifestation. I did like a soak, a bath soak with the honey. So we did that and just really kind of relaxed and got myself prepared for the show. And I'm really excited about it. I feel so relaxed, like
I'm
to be
glad to hear
honest.
that, sis.
Very
I'm glad to
relaxed
hear
and
that.
very, very ready to rock and roll and get into it.
Well, let's get into it then.
Okay.
Let's take a moment though to shout out today's sponsor. Every week we will have a sponsor, and this week the sponsor is yours truly, DHG Pro University, baby. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. For the
We
ones
are
that
currently enrolling, and we've got some great stuff going on.
we
BB,
do.
tell them about it.
Yeah, so we are enrolling, like Trent just said. And for the ones that don't know what DHG Pro University is, it is a continuing education platform, and we focus on training and the mastery training in cosmetology. So, as far as what I do, I am the lead educator for all things hair extensions. Trent is the educator for all things natural hair care, anything you could think of. And I have an upcoming class, well, one that just passed, and I have upcoming courses for the TDM hidden beat method. I will be teaching you guys that. So look forward and to that more information about that. And I'll leave the application link down below in the comments. So shout out
Yes,
to the
yes, yes.
sponsor. Just
Yes.
giving sponsor. Love
Okay.
it.
Okay. You guys
Okay.
better go ahead and fill out those job forms
Mhm.
and invest that money
Yeah.
wisely, especially if you're looking for a way to elevate your income, add
Mhm.
additional services for your guests. You guys got
Mhm.
to check us out.
Yeah.
But moving along,
Let's do that.
moving
Girl,
along, we have a question for you guys. We got a question. What's the question, BB?
okay, we have a question for the audience before we even get into emotional discounting. We want to talk to you guys about. We want to ask you what values, what value does your stylist or barber bring to your life? Are they important? Do they give you confidence? How important are they, and what value do they bring to your life? Leave that down below in the comments. And to all of my listeners, you cannot leave it below, but you can rate and heart this podcast and leave your comment in the review section if you like.
Please
But
do that.
please do that. We love our listeners as well, guys. We have listeners. But again, I repeat that question. What value does your stylist or barber bring to your life? That is the question we are posing to you guys today. Leave that down below.
Yeah, because we want to know.
Mhm.
I am a profession. I'm a professional in the beauty industry. My beautiful co-host here is a professional in the beauty industry, and
Mhm.
I want to know how you guys feel. Do we bring value to your lives?
Yeah,
And
because
if so, how? I would like to just insert how I feel like I bring the value that I bring to the
yeah,
community.
go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, personally for me, I believe that I feel that from my experience of my guests that sit in my chair and my retention rate,
Yes.
that I have something that sets me aside from other beauty professionals that are in the lock industry, that are in the natural hair industry.
Hmm.
And that alone, gives me the confidence, and it gives me the motivation to continue doing what I'm doing, because
Hmm.
I'm giving my guests something that other stylists, my proteges, are not giving.
Yeah.
Um, how about you, BB?
I mean, I feel like, hello. I feel like I definitely feel that I give value. I feel like what we do, our profession, is super valuable, to be honest. Especially like hair extensions. You have to be very well trained. You have to know what you're doing, or you're going to risk compromising your client's hair. I feel like I give consistency. I give like the same look. You're going to get the same looks with me. I'm not going to let you down. So I feel like, I feel like we bring a lot of value. We change people's opinion and view of themselves every day. They light up
We
literally in our chair. So we are out here,
yeah,
we're changing lives. So
we
we're
every
definitely
day,
giving value. Okay. Giving
every
value.
day.
Heavy on the value. So I guess,
Yes, girl. Here at Totally Trend, we say that we're building confidence one strand at a time.
Yeah.
Before you go to an interview, what are you doing? You're getting your hair done.
Yeah.
Before you go to a baby shower or a wedding or, special events that you have that you're going to remember forever and ever, it starts with us. It starts with you in the chair. And so that just is a reminder for me of how valuable I
We
am.
are.
It starts with me. It starts
Yeah.
with my hands in your hair, the time that we spend while you're in my chair together, and the confidence that you have when I'm spinning you out of my chair. That's,
Period.
it's priceless, but it's valuable at the same
For
time, right?
sure. So, do we want to tell them what emotional discounting is? I guess we got to. They're here watching us.
Yeah, I agree.
um,
I think, I want to ask them also,
okay.
what's the important factor when choosing a barber or a hairstylist? You know,
Mm,
do we bring value to your life? And if so, what is a important factor when you're choosing us? What are the type of things that you are looking for? Is it the price or the quality, when you're deciding those factors?
yeah, we'll
What
give
you
y'all a
think,
moment to
BB?
answer that. I'll put myself in a consumer's point of view because I consume other businesses as well. I feel like I always try to look for value in the actual experience. I'm really big on the experience because as busy as I am, as much as I work, when I'm going to a stylist or a makeup artist or lash tech or nail tech, I want to know that you're going to respect my time. I want to know if you're going to try to do your best to make me happy or accommodate me or give me what I need. It's not necessarily about price. It's more about how I feel when I leave and how I feel giving my time to a business. It's not really about price to me because I'm in an industry where we do high services. The beauty industry costs a lot, and I know that. I know it. You got to pay to play. You got to pay to look good. So I don't really care about price per se, just more so the experience. And I definitely look at things like credentials, location, and how my experience is. What about you?
I like that. I agree with you. I really don't
Mhm.
even have anything to add to that. How
Yes.
about that?
How about
How
that?
about period poo? Okay.
Pooh.
But
Hey
a lot of
y'all.
people may be wondering out there in social media world, in cyber world, what is emotional discounting? What are these girls even talking about?
Let's
Well,
get
we're
into
about to get
that.
into it. Emotional
Finally.
discounting. When is the first time that you heard about emotional discounting, BB?
The first time I heard about emotional discounting, it was like on another podcast. It was another um put it like this. The first time I heard a term to kind of describe the experience was through a podcast. But I've experienced emotional discounting because I am guilty of that bad habit and I am guilty of at one point in my career and one point in my life not having like the confidence to set my boundaries and set my policies and stand on my price. So,
Yeah, I do.
um,
Yeah, for sure.
so that's I've heard about it, I've experienced it, but I really until recently, like within the last few months, I heard what emotional discounting is, and you can answer and then answer the same question you asked me, and then give them like the definition of what it is, or give them an example of what it is.
So the first time that I heard about emotional discounting was when you brought the specific verbiage topic to my
Okay.
attention for a hot topic.
Hmm.
But I immediately could relate to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I immediately knew exactly what you were suggesting
Hmm.
because, like you said, I have been there before
Hmm.
as far as feeling an emotional attachment to um, charging,
Yeah.
charging certain prices, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or
Like the higher that price get, sometimes as a stylist, the more you feel like, damn, am I worth that? Like shit. like you know.
every tool that you pick up in the beauty industry,
Hmm.
technically that is another service,
Hmm.
So to me, from my training where I come from a Paul Mitchell background.
Got
If,
you.
every tool that I pick up, that's a different service, which would be like some places that you go a la carte per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're paying for these services individually. So we
Mm-hmm.
get into the register, we're adding up these prices,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can't breathe. Now I can't
Yeah.
breathe. Now it's getting a little
Get a little heavy, get a little hot.
yeah, because I'm thinking about your light bill. I'm thinking about your kids, that you got to feed. I'm thinking about,
Exactly.
that I'm honored that you even chose me to do your hair in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about all of these things. I'm still catering to my guests. I'm
Uh-huh.
still serving, my guests. And, so I say that to say that I've definitely been there more times, and it is super stressful.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, I don't feel like I won. I
Yeah.
don't
I
feel
emotionally discount. I feel like I.
it kind of chips at the passion of what I do. It kind of chips at that a little bit. It kind of diminishes that for me. It was doing that for a while because I'm just like, it's not making sense. I'm working from sun up to sundown, but my pockets are not, I'm
Like
still
that.
not able to do what I need to do. So
Yeah.
this is not making sense. One plus one isn't equaling two.
Yeah.
So, when you brought emotional discounting to my attention, I immediately could relate to just
To the topic.
having an emotional tie when you are doing business.
Yeah.
Um,
So I want to say really quickly because we're definitely already in conversation and going back and forth with each other, but I wanted to clarify what emotional discounting is. It can be perceived different ways, but essentially, emotional discounting is um, being empathetic to other needs or internally having battles with, like, your value. That's really what it's attached to. But emotional discounting can look like, as a beauty professional, you worked on a client all day, everyone knows the price that they're going to pay, and say you're a professional that does like a la carte services or add-on services. Say I spent about 6 hours on your head. I've done a removal, I've done an installation, I've done a color, I've done a trim, I've colored your extensions, I've colored your real hair. And as I'm adding this total up, a lot of a lot of stylists start experiencing this physical like feeling of like fear and doubt and worry and like, no, okay, this is getting high, like maybe I should take off my color service. I didn't have to charge her for color, or maybe I don't have to charge her for a trim. Like literally trade, like doubting what your time is worth, doubting what you're worth off the thought of like this number being so high or this price being so high, which
yeah,
is actually what it's supposed to be. The price is, if you spend 6 hours on somebody's head, they're going to spend a pretty ticket. But emotional discounting can look like, in that instance, where you kind of subtract and add and negotiate, and kind of before you even present the total to your client, you've already started making decisions financially for them. That's emotional discounting. And can
that's
you
right.
tell them another example of emotional discounting? Me and you kind of talked about it. You know what I'm talking about? The other example. What the heck did we say? Sorry, y'all. Oh my god. I forget the one we said, but it was so important. We were supposed to put it in the notes. Anyway, we'll move on. But that's essentially what emotional discounting may look like, or how it may present itself as a beauty professional, right? You're
Yeah.
getting ready to check out and you're like freaking out because you're like, oh, I'm about to tell them this number, what they gonna think, what they gonna say, and you're freaking out, right? So yeah, how would you describe emotional discounting and what it looks like for you?
Or even, another example for me is just not for clients that I've had for a while,
That's the
that
one.
have been with me for an extended amount of time. Some of my clients have been with me 5 to 10 years. Shout out to you
Yes.
guys. I love you guys so much because I couldn't do
Yes.
what I do without y'all. But there has been experience with some individuals where it's been challenging to get myself a raise.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it is. I don't
Mhm.
have someone to do it for me, to give me that extra dollar or two. But
Mhm.
as beauty professionals, I do believe in giving yourself a raise. And I do
Mhm.
believe as the economy grows that because we are valuable, we're next to essential. COVID
More than
proved that,
essential. We
right?
were
COVID proved that.
for sure.
So the service prices should reflect.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of guests, there are a lot of clients that do respect it, that push me, that, I actually talk to a lot of my clients. How do you
Hmm.
feel about this? What do you think about this scenario?
Hmm.
And shout out to you guys, because like I said, it gives me the confidence to do what I'm going to do and stand on what I want to stand on, because
Hmm.
I'm still, and there are still cases where I am growing and maturing in the aspect of disconnecting from the emotional aspect of it, because
Yeah.
you guys understand that I'm going to put my best intention, my best effort into your hair, right? Before
Hmm.
you even walk out of my door. You guys already know that if you sat in my chair one
Right.
time. So the prices are going to reflect. So that is another example of emotional discounting for me, and how I
Absolutely.
could relate, because as I've gone up on my prices and adjusted my prices how I should be, um,
Period.
how they should be, because for a long time I was not charging what I should charge, because I was a slave to emotional discounting.
I know it has
And
happened to
it
me.
feels great to be free. It feels great to have control, to have that confidence that I have now, and to know that you're the price that I am charging for my services, you're getting
Hmm.
a lot more than what my worth is. Put it
Yeah.
like, no one can
Also,
afford me, right? No one can afford my worth,
technically. Hmm.
but we're doing business, and I have integrity with what I do, and I
Hmm.
feel that what I do is fair for
Hmm.
myself, for my family, for the time that is being sacrificed away from them, and
Hmm.
the high quality products that I use on every single client's hair,
Yeah.
the scalp analyst that I do, the healthy hair, healthy scalp regimens that I come up with. All of these things are incorporated. So
Hmm.
prices should benefit. For
They
all
should
our brothers
reflect
and
that.
sisters out there, this is for you. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and also I wanted to say, because I thought you were touching on it, but the thought came back to me. Emotional discounting can also show up, like if you're a hairstylist or braider or barber, it can also show up where you kind of, your old clients are kind of grandfathered into a certain price and you've moved up your prices, but sometimes you may not want to move your older, more loyal people up to that new price point. I used to suffer with that. I don't feel that way anymore, but sometimes it can show up like that, like you're holding your policies, and you're standing firm on your policies and holding yourself to a certain standard for newer clients, but you're allowing your loyal clients to still
Yeah.
pay outdated prices. So guys, the other professionals, like, if you're doing that, stop. Like, you discounting, number one, we'll get into that, it's just a no-go, and we'll get into why. But guys, stop. It's more,
Yeah.
it's more than worth, it's more than value, right? There is no dollar amount. You're worth more than dollar amounts, right? Worth and the price of something, they don't correlate. But we just encourage you guys to definitely tap into this video and tune in, because we're really about to get into it. But there's some bad habits that we have to break, and we're about to get into that now.
We sure are. You know, everybody loves to save a dollar. Who doesn't love a good discount, right? Fashion Nova is always sending us 40% off, 50% off, free shipping,
Um,
and all of those
yeah.
things, correct? And we enjoy those. We enjoy those discounts. So
Mm-hmm.
don't get it twisted. We understand. But
We do.
and as a professional, outside of the consumer side, there's two sides of it.
Yeah.
On this side of the spectrum, we want to kind of talk to you guys about why should stylists avoid discounting their services.
A lot of reasons I
Personal
can think of.
level, business level, financial level,
Mhm.
you should avoid it at all costs. And let's talk
Mhm.
about why. You
Well,
know,
let's get to
we've
it.
already kind of got into some of those things already.
I want to ask you, do you believe that beauty professionals, hairstylists, barbers, do you believe that they should offer discounts and why?
I don't. I feel that discounting needs to kind of go away in our industry. I feel like if you want to cater to a certain group of people, if you want to have certain days where your prices are where could be adjusted,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's different. But I just don't really see how the business, personal level, financial level, you benefit from discounting your services.
Yeah.
I feel
I.
like maybe when if we are flawed beings,
Mm-hmm.
we make a mistake,
Then it's
it's our
acceptable.
responsibility to fix it.
Yeah.
But at that point, the service is already done. So you're fixing that. So I wouldn't even necessarily agree with you discounting a service for the next time.
Yeah.
I feel like we gotta get away from that as beauty professionals.
For
Period.
sure. And guys, like speaking of like discounting, like when you mess up, right? Let's think about this. What other company solve, what other business structure, what other business type solves problems the same day or fixes issues the same day in the same moment? Not a lot of companies do. When you call a company and you have a complaint, what are they going to do? They're going to take your issue down, they're going to write it down. They're going to reassure you that it's going to be investigated. It's going to be handled, whatever the case. And it's a little different when you're independent contractors, but you can't really solve problems immediately. You need to think. You need to hear the problem, make sure your client knows you have a problem, and this goes into conflict resolution. But you don't have to solve problems or issues the same day. If someone has a grievance, oh, my hair messed up, my hair this, my hair that, boo, 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 get some information, get their feelings, reassure them, let them know it's going to be okay. Get their information, ask them when is a good time you're going to call them back so you can think it over and figure out the best solution to the issue, to the problem, and end it there. That's when you think it through. You listen to their problem, you listen to their issue. Money, really and realistically, money should not go back because this is a service based business. Now, if you're buying product or something that's different, but once hands and time have been put in, it's a whole nother ball game. So it's going to be a little different. But give yourself a moment to reflect and come up with a solution. Don't just emotionally react and be like, well, here, get your money back, or here, let me give you this for free, or here, let me give you. Take a moment to think. Take a moment to think before you're doing anything. I think it's important for emotions to be left out of business in general. So, as far as like services, discounts, and stuff like that, I personally believe that discounts should not happen in the beauty industry. It makes no sense. You're not going to go clock in, and they're not going to be able to take money off of your what you made. I feel like immediately once you set a price for something, and this is just how mine works. That's why I stopped doing it. I used to do it. I feel that once you take something down, take something down from the price that it was, you're telling me it was never worth that. You don't even think it was ever worth that. So immediately no from me. There are times and places, but on a day-to-day business, on a day-to-day practices in my business, discounting is immediate no. I know what it's worth. I know what it should cost. That's what it's going to cost. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
not to say that I'm not like empathetic and work with people. I find myself now, instead of telling somebody, well, honey, you can't get it, or that's never how I move. I'm always professional. But I'll ask you, what is your budget? What can you afford? What can you afford to invest in your hair? Right? And when they tell me that number, now I'm going to give them another option that I can do for them. I'm never going to just be like, okay, girl, you ain't got no money. I'm not going to pick at my client.
Message.
I'm not going to belittle them, but I'm going to help you get what you need at some. It's going to be a win-win. I'm not going to
Right.
lose.
Right.
So I don't believe in discounting anymore. Have I done it in the past? Yes, but I don't do it anymore because to me it immediately says, "Just kidding, it wasn't worth that."
Yeah, definitely.
Just
And
kidding.
another reason why, professionals, especially in the beauty industry, should
Hmm.
avoid the discounting of services is because it
Mm-hmm.
kind of it diminishes your image, it diminishes your brand.
So much.
You're building a reputation of um, like you're building a reputation of lowering your prices. So what does that say about your business? You're
You're
unsure
rooting
about
out.
yourself.
Thank
You're
you.
unsure about yourself. You're unsure about your services. You're unsure about what
Your
you're
value
yeah.
and your
And
targeting.
there we are tied again, and there we are again in an emotional relationship with charging emotional discounting, right?
With give and no. And
We
not
gotta
only
get
that,
out of that.
you're targeting, you're putting out a beacon to a type of clientele that you really don't want.
If you're trying to give yourself $5 raise for the year, and then you go and you give everybody a $5 discount here, a $10 discount here, a $15 discount here, and you're looking at your report at the end of the year, and you're like,
Somebody's
wait
gonna
a
come up
minute.
short.
Yeah, wait a minute. I thought, where's that extra, you know what I mean? Where's that extra money at?
Yeah.
It's
And as far as finances, I want to like plug in because yeah, where is the extra money? And a lot of our extra money goes right back into other businesses. So when
that's a
I think about what I do. I'm a hair extension specialist. Anybody who has to go spend money before they got to make money can understand, and that's literally all of us. If you buy a product, that's already all of us. Now here we have product. Now we have hair extensions. Now we have different things. My vendors, they are not discounting me. My vendors are not giving me no money off.
that's
No
right.
matter how many times I buy with them, I can afford to discount. My
They
company
might throw in
is
some
not
little
that
extra
huge.
hair clips or
They
some
were
bobby
throwing,
pins or a
girl,
little
they were
beaver
throwing
band or
some
some scarf,
lashes.
but they're not discounting their services. They're not
They're not.
discounting their
They're not.
products. And we have to keep that same we have to keep
Energy.
that same mentality.
Yeah,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean?
Like I said, I definitely feel like on the financial side, well, we can move on, but I feel like for financially, I also want to talk about how, oh, it's right here. We're getting into that. Let's keep it going. So, to the listeners, we're just going to move on to another topic. I want to get used to reading out what we see on the screen because you guys have no clue what we're on. Thank y'all for thank you for your patience for all of our listeners who are not watching us live. You're tuning in and you're watching us on Apple. You're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anything like that. So right now on the screen, we pose different questions and we follow along with topics on the screen. So right now the screen says, how does discounting affect the beauty industry? Can a professional benefit from discounting? That is the question we're posing to our audience, and that is the question we're about to get into and give our take on. So, sorry we haven't done it this far in the video. We are getting better. We are not used to doing a lot of podcasts. We're not used to engaging with listeners because it's new for us, but we definitely see you guys out there and we're so happy to have you. Make sure you review this podcast and follow this podcast out on those platforms. So, Trend, you can continue.
Yeah. All right. So the question is, how does discounting affect the beauty industry? And can a professional benefit from discounting? The answer is no.
It's a big no.
You could okay. Let me back up. You could benefit because
How so?
you're known for discounting. So everyone wants to sit in your chair because
Okay, yeah.
you're really really dope. Your hair, you do really great hair services. You're providing optimum hair experiences,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
you are charging the same price as homegirl down the street that does um, half the quality, half
Yeah.
the effort, and half the quality. But hey, so that is how you could benefit because you're retaining a lot of clients. So if your
Mm-hmm.
goal is just to get a lot of clients, then discounting may be for you. But if you're a
Yeah.
professional trying to elevate your business to an elite level,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be discounting your services. You're going to adjust your prices um, where it's fair for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
for what you feel like you're providing, the value
Mm-hmm.
that you're giving to the beauty community, and you're going to do the work on the inside, and you're going to stand on it. Because
Yeah.
how about you?
I
How
mean, I feel
the beauty industry?
to piggyback off of what you're saying, yeah, a certain type of stylist can benefit from discounting. Yes, technically anybody can, but what quality stylist are you? Because my thing is, your books are going to be full, you're going to be booming, but I bet you there's going to be people who don't respect your time. I bet you there's going to be people who you have to have like 10 or 12 people because half of them probably not going to show up or change their mind. You're going to be dealing with so much that we try to avoid on a day-to-day basis as
Ooh.
professionals. So yes, you will be booked out if you're discounting, but think about the longevity, think about the predictability. Most people need to have projections. And how can you project your income when you don't even
When
know,
you burnt out and
you
broke.
burnt out and you don't even know who's actually going to show up.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you're discounting, you're probably not doing deposits and things like that. I don't know.
I
It's
think what you're trying to say is what I'm getting out of what you're saying is that the the type of people that are getting the discounts may are a certain type of clientele,
yeah, and
and
yeah,
it's
and
gonna come with a certain amount
it's
of
gonna come with a
stresses.
certain level of
And
stress.
so we're talking about how it affects the beauty industry. It just really diminishes the image. It diminishes the brand.
Diminishes the industry.
Cosmetology
Period.
school isn't cheap. It is definitely an investment.
Still paying off debt.
So I just hope that the individuals, the future professionals that are in training right now
Yeah,
or seeking to do that, that you actually
yeah.
get out here, you apply the knowledge that you learned,
Are
and
learning.
do it to the biggest of the biggest of the biggest. You do it big.
Yeah,
What
and
we talked about on episode 1, take
yeah,
uh making it big. You know what I
making it big.
mean?
And not only that, you're coming out of school, and I don't know how much the beauty industry or the cosmetology world has changed, but I know coming out of cosmetology school, and I literally just talked about this on anyway, the when I was in cosmetology school, they didn't really teach you about the stuff we're learning
No.
about emotional discounting, about pricing. I don't know if it's different now, but they were not getting you ready for the industry on that level
Well,
financially.
let me stop.
Not for me. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like
let me back up.
no one taught like the bit like it was to me, like I said, it was sample size. I didn't go to a big establishment like Paul Mitchell. I went to a independent place. I went to Regency Beauty Industry. So for
Shout out
me, my
Regency.
experience was very much sample. I feel like everything we touched on was like sample based. I feel like we never really dived deep into anything because it was fast paced. They were trying to get us ready for state board. So I don't feel like Regency had a culture, and I'm sorry, I just don't. I feel like Paul Mitchell is more established, so they probably had much more going on. I feel like you probably had an elite experience. I feel like I was dealing with more of a new company, a new structured company, so it was in the beginner stage. I even had like an educator that didn't even know extensions but was teaching extensions. So that's
You
the
know
type of stuff
what?
we were dealing with over there. So,
Yeah,
sorry, I
I
got to stop
definitely
on a
remember
tangent.
popping into your school and actually popping in and meeting some of the instructors there and seeing some of the future professionals that were there. And I was surprised because coming from a Paul Mitchell background, there are things that your school was offering that they were not offering
Yeah.
at Paul Mitchell. So
Mhm.
I do want to say that you did get a lot of things with the hands-on with the
Yeah,
extensions. We didn't even touch
I did
extensions
extensions.
at all at Paul
I
Mitchell.
did extensions because I knew extensions. You understand? When we got to that module, my educator did. We were helping her show them how to braid. You understand? So from
We
my
didn't even do
experience,
any of that. We didn't
right?
do any of that at Paul
So
Mitchell.
I get what you're saying. Like when we,
Paul Mitchell is cutting and color and
got it.
product
Hmm.
and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fashion, stage work,
yeah. The best
um,
way to put
cut
it
and
is,
color. So we
yeah.
didn't really get into that.
To me,
But
the best way to put it is think
it's
someone
important.
just
It's
showing you from
important
a
to talk
book.
about.
Yeah, showing you from a book, but they have no life experience. So it's really like, I think we're doing this right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Is like it was a good experience. Don't get me wrong, but I did feel cheated in some areas. I did.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on.
I agree.
Um,
They definitely need to incorporate the the back end, the business side of it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because the business side of it is very, very important. What
Mhm.
does that look like? Doing our annual reports and things like that. I think
Yeah,
that
I did
should
a
be
business
added.
plan.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to establish yourself as a business, as a brand.
Yeah.
We did not get that education in cosmetology school, and the amount that we paid, slide that in there. But
Mm-mm. Should have. Shameless
so,
plug.
the moral of the story is that it does not it does not benefit the beauty industry at all to be discounting services.
I
And
also want to say,
yeah,
on the topic of emotional discounting, sorry, I'm eating fruit. As beauty professionals, for anyone who's watching this and you feel like that's easy to say, but that's hard to do, we've been there. We're not like, coming down on anyone, but we're just saying how important it is for your self-esteem, for your value, to eliminate the bad habit of emotional discounting. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of baby steps and a lot of courage to, raise your prices or not discount people when you've done the work. That
yeah,
takes courage. So the first thing to do is to kind of recognize that you're doing it and be aware of it, to the point where you start to feel a little more comfortable, so you're ready to make a step or make a change. So I just wanted
yeah,
to put that out there. We're not like judging or anything like that. We know that it can be hard, but we also know that it's not benefiting you to continue doing it, and it's not benefiting your sense of self-esteem either, as a professional. So
yeah. And even another thing, when you
mhm,
find yourself behind the chair and you are with a guest, and your guest is like, oh, I didn't know you do. You can do a little longer. You can add some curls. You can add some enhancements to the service that I've already had.
yeah.
And you look to kind of include some of those things because they're already there. You're building that relationship with them, but you
Hmm.
have to again have that confidence and have that courage to communicate and charge those additional service fees,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of lets us get into how do you deal with these different type of scenarios. We have a new heading on the screen now, and it says, how do you deal with clients who want discounts? That's the
Okay.
question, and the answer is,
Okay. You can answer.
yeah, find your target audience. How do you deal with clients who want discounts? Kind of politely separate yourself from those type of clients. Um, Again, you will. I know that there have been times where what I want, a service that I may want, or a product that I may want to purchase, is just not in my budget that week, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to understand that maybe there's an opportunity for me to do installments. Maybe there's an opportunity for me to, you know, do a, I don't know, work something out, but not discounting the service where you're still paying
Hmm.
the service in full.
Yeah.
That would be between yourself and your individual, your clients and your
Hmm.
stylist.
Hmm.
Build those relationships. Every relationship is going to be treated as, with care, with as an individual. I
Hmm.
can't get my words.
Individual. No, it's okay on an individual type of basis. I
Yeah,
want to. Hmm.
but at the end of the day, you know, I think we have discernment. You have to have discernment to know
Hmm.
if a client is trying to take advantage or if
Hmm.
it's a situation where it just may not be in their budget. So you
Exactly.
work those type of situations out, like BB was saying. You find out
Hmm.
what their budget is, and you work within those means where you still feel
Hmm.
valuable, where you didn't exhaust yourself, or you're not feeling valuable at the end of that service, right? Because we still
Right.
want our guests to feel important. We
Yeah.
want them to know that we're honored to do their hair, but at the
Hmm.
same time, we want it to be balanced on the scales.
Sorry, y'all. But I also want to add to that. Anyway, I also want to add to that. I'll have a kind of another question to pose. Are you comfortable? talking because we don't know where these professionals are in their careers. We don't know if they're beginners, veterans. We don't know where you guys are in your careers, right? So I want to pose a question to the audience. Are you guys comfortable talking about pricing and money? How is the money conversation? How does that go when you're talking to your clients? Are you a nervous wreck? Are
I'm a
you
nervous
talking
wreck.
about it? You're a nervous wreck. Okay. Are
I
you?
don't
So
like
you're
talking about money, period. Like, I really
really
don't like talking about money. If I could just live in a field full of sunshine and butterflies and eat the fruits
and
off of the
rainbows.
trees, that is me. When it comes
Okay.
to just talking about money, about anything, it's just uncomfortable. Pineapples, I don't like it.
Uncomfortable.
Um,
Yeah.
but with, yeah, that's just to answer that question. I
I
don't like it.
okay. I'm
What
gonna
what I
answer.
do
Uh-huh.
to cope with those type of with that emotional
Is
habit, that's a different story.
okay. I feel like for me, where I am now, if you would have asked me this about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But as far as having conversations about money with clients, it's so easy because it just eliminates the room for error. It eliminates the room for like discomfort. I immediately say, hey, as soon as my clients come in, now my regulars know my price, but as soon as my clients come in, I'm like, hey, what can we do today? What are you looking to do today? I immediately get the dollar amount out there. So if they're getting like, oh, I want to blow out, I'm like, okay, do I see that your hair looks such and such, or what style are you coming out of, or what is your hair history? If they haven't ever came to me, I immediately talk to them like, hey, you booked a blowout. That's such and such price. I always like my first time clients to let me go ahead and shape you, trim you, hydrate you along with your style. That is an upcharge, but I think it's very necessary for people to get this service. And I tell them a treatment is this, a treatment is that, a cut is that, and the style is this. So that will be your new total minus any deposits you paid if you want to move forward. They either say yes, they either say no. It is not hard because people are saying they want things or saying yes to things, but they're not necessarily thinking about that number. That's why sometimes you get to the end of the service like, well, girl, you asked, you wanted a trim, you wanted a. I immediately say all of my services. You can easily start your service if you are a la carte. People will respect you for
Some people,
some, but they will because
some people, I mean, this is my whole thing. People are going to do to you
they
what you
either
want
gonna
them to
do
do.
one or two things.
I've had experience, girl, where I'm on the phone and she's like, well, can you do it for da 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 da? And I'm
It's
like, but
not up for debate.
this is what I'm saying. I have found myself in debate, and by this time it's just like,
But it's not up for debate. It's
just
not up for debate.
just come on. And that is the answer.
It's
It's
not
not up
up
for
for
debate.
debate. It's
It's
not.
not up for
And
debate because there shouldn't be your guest has already seen your value. They're trying to book an
thank
appointment
you.
with you.
Thank you.
They've
Thank you.
already seen your value. Now you have to believe in the value that they've already
Yes.
seen. You got to
Yeah.
stand on that.
You gotta stand
And
on it, on your
yeah,
policy. And not
so
only that, to finish up, like they're gonna say one or two things. They're gonna be, oh no, that's too can't do that. Or they're gonna say whatever, and then you don't emotionally react to that because that has nothing to do with you. All you do is listen. Oh, I can't, I don't wanna do, I don't wanna. Okay, well, we'll just do the blowout. Okay. But if you want anything else, and also whenever they're getting stuff and like, they might say, my hair itchy or my hair dry. Can I put a treatment on it? Yes. That's an add-on service. Treatments are this and such cost. Do you want to add that to your ticket? Do you want to add that to your total cost? I'm always numbers forward because it really just start saying it. Once you start doing it, guys, I'm talking to the people, to the audience and my sister. Once you start talking about money and getting comfortable with it, it gets easier. The next time you have a client, try this. You know your price, right? Everybody hates that. Okay, what I owe you. Nobody want to do that. Nobody want to do what I owe you at the end. So the next time you get a client, ask them what they're getting, tell them what it costs. If you have any suggestions, tell them what that costs. They either gonna say, no, I'm okay, or they gonna say yes. And if they say anything else in between, say, okay, no worries, we're gonna do your blowout. We're gonna do exactly what you got served today. Now, don't be upselling if they don't need it, but if they really need more, it is our job to tell them. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you kind of need a treatment, but I ain't gonna. Number one, clients don't want you spending money for them, and you should never spend money for clients.
nobody
Meaning,
likes a pushy
yeah, I
salesman.
push yourself, but we have a job to do. And if I blow your hair out, it's happened to me. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, it's happened to me. I've like ignored needs, and it's backfire. Always give them what they need, and at least let them know what they need. Because if something comes up, if they need a treatment and their hairstyle don't last, now you got a bad review because you didn't communicate. But as far as pricing, guys, let's try to be more financially forward, like with our clients. Let's have the money talk with our clients.
I
And that's
love how you said that. Financially forward, definitely. We got
Let's
to
be
be more
financially forward.
financially
We
forward.
do.
And realize BB has some pretty calm and collected clients. And so, just in case you may not have those
Okay.
clients, just
Let's tell them about
understand
your clientele, and I'm gonna tell them about mine. So
who
I'm gonna,
you can just tell them,
but you can though, even no
service
matter
and
who
this
you
is the
got.
price. If you have some that try to put you in those situations where you're debating, stick to the facts.
Ah,
Stick to the facts. And the
tell me
fact
about your
is
clientele.
that this is why you should, before your client, this is why I love my booking link. Okay.
You don't
Because
want to talk.
I can just send you back to my booking link. This is why I take deposits, and this is why there are policies in place. And before you even sit in my chair, you've already gone through these tasks of reading my policies,
Wow.
understanding my policies, signing off on my policies, signing off on my prices. You've
Yeah.
had a chance to review, look at his prices, her prices, compare, and you've made an appointment with me. You paid 50% towards your service, right?
Wow.
That has
So you use a booking
you would
service
think
as a
that would eliminate the
cushion.
problem, but you will get a guest every now and then
Yeah.
that will get in your chair and they will say, well, oh, I didn't know that hair was that short. You think you can braid it a little longer, you
Yeah.
know, and then there has to be an action there.
So what do you usually do there? Like, in all honesty, do you emotionally discount, or do
I
you stand?
emotionally discount because what I've done in the past for the majority of the part is just kind of say, okay, and instead of stopping, because now I'm in the flow. You done caught me slipping because I'm
You
into it now.
react to it. You
You know what I'm
react to it.
saying?
Mhm.
And time is on my mind, and I'm providing a service. Making sure the environment's right for you. You got your movie, you got your water, whatever.
You're just
And
in pleasing mode.
like, I wanted to kind of rub across my booty. Now I'm like, okay, but I literally need to stop and do some math right now. How much time is this going to take? And this was supposed to be planned before you even sat in my chair. That's the whole point of the booking link and things like that. But to be honest and to be transparent, I find myself in those situations, and I'm pretty sure that there are other professionals who have to. Hey, can you put a little, do a little,
Razzle dazzle.
yeah, do a little razzle dazzle on there.
Uh-huh.
Me as a stylist, I learned that I need to be prepared for that. I need to be prepared from when my guests come and they say, okay, give me 12 more inches. Do I even have time to do that? Is that even what my schedule permits for the day? If so, how can I charge my value when this isn't the time that I'm mentally prepared for? So immediately when you suggesting another service that's going to take another 2 hours, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, I need a little, little extra on the top, and why not?
Do you in
But do I charge it? I'm thinking all of these things in my mind. All this stuff is going on in my mind. Like, yeah, this is okay. And then when it's time to go, when it's time to charge them, and they looking all beautiful and they're glowing, and they didn't have plans before, but now they making plans because they looking fly. And then it's like, oh, how much is it, boo?
and you don't say them
I
out.
can't breathe because now I'm adding up the numbers and I'm adding up the hours, and I'm like, well, if I did this times this, what is this? And I'm like, whoa, okay, well, maybe if I chop this down, and now I'm emotionally discounted. So I have to find
How do
myself
you
in
feel?
those situations. But how I deal with that now to practice and to get out of that habit is to, one, just really work on being straightforward, which is piggyback on what you were saying.
Financially forward. Yeah.
Financially forward, being straightforward and honest. Hey, this is not what I had. This isn't what was scheduled today. Even if you do have the time, this isn't what was scheduled today.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the confidence to charge, then just don't do it.
Don't do
You know what I mean?
it.
Because the reality
That's
is
a even.
they've already signed up for a service. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Can
They've
I ask you
already
something?
agreed to. You already have a contract that you've agreed to. This is extra. This is added on, and you don't have to agree to that. You don't have to agree to those terms. You can simply say, like Bibi said,
No.
no.
Yeah.
But how you communicate is very important. How
Yeah.
you communicate with each other is super, super important. You want to treat our profession like with integrity, and
Hmm.
sometimes you do have to tell the client no, whether it be like, hey, I want to be platinum blonde today, I want triple double process today, and you gotta, as stylists, as professionals, we are trained that sometimes the business is no, so get in the
Yeah.
habit of doing that when you're charging as well.
Can I ask you something? When you, we'll just go back to like doing a service and someone asks for something extra and you already, oh, you're having an emotional reaction. You're stressed, you're nervous, you're anxious, you feel sick to your stomach. You feel like, oh my God, what do I do? After you, let's say you, let's remember the time where you didn't charge your worth and you just charged them exactly what they initially wanted, but you've done extra work. How do you
I felt in
feel?
control.
Well, how do you feel after you charge and you haven't did your worth? Like, say you added that on and you didn't have the confidence to, because it happens to stylists all the time. Have you think of a time where you did the extra work for braids and you didn't charge that proper price? How did it
Oh,
make you
okay.
feel? Like, how did that make you feel? Like,
Okay, I misunderstood the question.
yeah,
Okay, so you're saying that how did I feel when I spent that extra 2 hours on the client's head and
when you
didn't charge
charge
anything
it,
extra?
yeah, when you emotionally discount it, how did
Oh,
that make you feel?
it's a lot of negative things. It's for some reason I'm even more tired. I feel like I'm disappointed in
Yeah,
myself because
same.
I took time away. This is 2 hours that I took away from my kids, my family, something that I could have done for myself, something to make my business grow, because I'm always looking for ways to grow, right? To
Yeah, it makes
elevate.
you feel.
This was just um sometimes I feel defeated. Now there
Mhm.
has been times where I've done it and my I'm look it doesn't affect me. It's just like, oh, I've done my good deed
Mhm.
for the day,
Yeah.
right? But the reality is, 4 or 5 of those days like that, where I'm
Mhm.
thinking I've done my good deed for the day, I've done my
Mhm.
due diligence,
Mhm.
and I'm compromising my business. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I can find 17 other ways to give back, to pay it forward, to do
Yeah.
my good deed where it's not affecting my business, where it's not taking food out of my kids' mouth, because that's
Yeah.
how I mentally break
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's how I
So
process it.
process it. So tell me this, like you were talking about, we have finding your target audience underneath this as a
Yeah, yeah,
section. And you made a comment earlier about my clientele. I want us to both tell a little bit, about our clientele, because just like you were saying, you said that my clients may not talk or say anything back. They have before I niche down. I did have people that made me feel little. I did have people that made me feel like I was just ridiculously pricing and asking for too much. And when I tell you guys, this was when my services were less than what they are now. So when that was happening to me, my services weren't even high. You get what I'm
same.
saying? So
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
like people were making me feel like crap about stuff that, anyway, my clientele, they are like professionals, they are business professionals. Um, and that doesn't mean they don't financially struggle, but they find value in what I do. So I feel like niching down my target market. I mostly do hair extensions and microlinks. So finding my target market has actually helped my business in a lot of ways. And just like you, I feel like you're niche down to now. So how would you describe your audience that you provide services to now? How were they back when you were emotionally discounted heavily to compared to now?
98.6% of my clientele rocks. Like, we're family. We're one. We have an
Exactly. I love
understanding.
mine.
They're pushing me. They're elevating me. When I speak of my experiences, when I speak of, if I've done your hair one time, you're going to be my client forever, or whatever Future said.
Forever, ever.
So, with that being said,
You're
with
part of the collection.
that, I'll speak from experience throughout my whole career.
Yeah, not just
From my whole career,
right.
over 15 years. So
Not
if
the
I'm
current.
not talking about my client last week or last month or even
Exactly.
last year, I just like to be transparent and speak and be the voice of people who may be going through these things now, because like I said, I implement things, and even when you have those policies in place and you have a professional clientele, you're going to have a straggler come along every now and then
Yeah,
and
that's
try
normal.
to manipulate you into a little discount, right? It
Yeah,
just
merchant
happens. That's the nature of
discount.
the beast. We all like to save money, but how we deal with it, we just communicate in the most respectful way, where you're respecting yourself, you're respecting your business, because your business is your baby. Your business is your child as well, so you got to treat it as such. And
Yeah.
you keep that mindset. It helps you to really eliminate the emotional aspect of it. Your kid gets
Yeah.
mad because she wants a cookie and she's had 17 cookies, no more cookies, and
No
she's
more
mad and she's
period.
upset. But it's, you take the emotional aspect outside of it, because it's like, no, this does not bring value to your life, and it's not going to bring value to my life, because you're going to be throwing up and I'm going to have to clean it. So here we go. That's just
Cycle.
just another example.
Mhm.
um
Stragglers are gonna come. you're gonna get the stragglers for sure.
literally.
So, what's our next topic?
Yeah, so deal with your clients, just be respectful. We've really gotten
Kind
to
of
the
did that.
pros and the cons of discounting. That's what we've been talking about the whole time. I don't really
Yeah,
feel like you benefit from it.
I
If
don't
now,
either.
if you are I feel like the only time you really do benefit is if you're just getting your feet wet. If you are a new
Yes,
future
beginning.
professional and you're getting out into the industry and you're a new professional, your goal is to create your lookbook, to get your reviews, to get your
Yes,
word of mouth out there,
yes,
to gain exposure, to get that social proof, to build your clientele. Then those may be situations where you do have some discounting with the services. You know what I'm saying? But
that makes
then again, you are practicing and you are creating habits now early in your beauty profession, your beauty journey, your professional journey. You start building good habits now,
good
where you
habit.
aren't having to go through some of the things that some of us vets are still experiencing, that we're still slaves to, right?
Yes.
So if you are a future professional and you're getting ready to get out here in the beauty world,
Start out some good habits.
create a plan. Look at what the stylists are charging for what it is that you're trying to do, what it is that you're trying to specialize in. Give yourself find a specialty,
Mhm.
and your specialty, you don't discount that.
At
You may have
all.
other services where you want to build that clientele. You do those services and you may discount those, but your specialty, you don't discount that.
Yes,
And once you build if you're good at what you do, which if you have passion over time, you will become great at what you do.
for sure.
And over time, you will build that trust with your clients. They'll become family, and they will position themselves and position you where you don't have to do that ever again, because that's what
Exactly.
my clients have done for me. Just like BB Nicole, my clients are my family. They respect me, they value me. I look forward to getting up and doing my job. A lot of times, sometimes it doesn't feel like work, sometimes it does.
Yeah,
That's just a part of being a boss,
it's a
right?
part of it.
But yeah, there are so many pros and cons. Do you want to recap?
Girl, no. When you just spoke to me when you said don't discount your top service, what you excel at, your niche, your it factor, your service. Don't, girl. I love every bit of that because you will never see me discounting any type of link. You know what I mean? Ever. So I agree with that. That's great advice for upcoming professionals. Don't discount your specialty. You're a specialist. And if
Yes, honey.
you want to get training and becoming a specialist, you got two educators right on the screen. And if you run this clip back, DHG Pro University is the place, is the community you want to join. All right. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's move on, shall we? We
So
done
what
been
do
in
we
here.
got on the screen now for our listeners who are not viewing our
Yes.
screen?
Okay. So listeners, our what are we gonna call them? We don't have a name for our
The
beauty pros.
moral
Oh.
of the story today is stop and avoid emotionally charging your clients. That's what's on the screen.
That
We're going to
is
read
on the
it
screen.
again.
Let's
What
read
does
it
it
again.
say, BB?
More. She trying to keep me on track, y'all. Moral of the story: stop. Everybody, stop.
Stop.
Pause. Take a pause.
Wait a minute. Breathe.
Stop and avoid emotionally stop and avoid emotionally discounting and charging your clients. Don't
Cut that
charge.
shit out.
Cut this shit out.
Cut
Don't charge
it out.
emotionally. Don't discount emotionally. Keep emotions out of business.
You got
Once
to be Frank Lucas in the beauty industry,
once
okay?
business is handled, then we go eat lunch. Once
Bingo.
business is handled, then I hug you. Once
Once you pay me what I've charged that you've agreed to,
what
then I will buy you lunch.
but my point is, like, it is, again, we're not picking. We're just, how we feel about it.
We want
We,
stylists to feel more empowered. We want you guys to have more
yes,
control. We want you guys to have a little bit more control in your salons, in your spas, in your suites at
yes,
home, or wherever you're servicing hair at your client's
yes,
house. If you're a mobile stylist, whatever, we still want you to feel in control because you are super super valuable. Hey, we're gonna give ourselves. We are essential. We're claiming we
clap
are
it up for that.
essential workers out
You
here.
are.
And shout out to
You
each and
are
every single one
too,
of you guys,
listeners
especially
and
during
viewers.
COVID, that was risking your life. They were risking their life to come and get their
And
hair
heal.
done, and you was risking yours to make them look fly, okay,
Yeah,
during the pandemic. So the fact is, we ain't going nowhere. No time soon. The beauty industry is an industry that's never going to die,
ever evolve.
okay? There are people that are tapping into this industry that don't know a lick about hair and are maximizing off of our industry.
Yes,
Position yourselves, work on your inner self because that's where it starts. If you don't believe that you're worth the price that you're charging, you are going to be a slave to emotional discounting, emotional charging, grandfathering, um, $45, $60 retwist, no
in
point intended, for
2023,
for a really long time. And we don't want that for you. DHG Pro University, we're not having that.
we're
Um,
not.
so
We're
for a
raising elite.
story,
Mhm.
stop and avoid, which means don't do it. Stay away from it. If you see it coming, walk the other way. Okay.
Block.
Okay. Put your hair blockers on. I don't see that. Discounting. What's that?
What
We're
is
not
that?
doing it. All 2023 and beyond. And how are we going to do that? What?
We're gonna know our worth, and we're
You're
gonna
going to
know.
know your mother sucking worth. Okay.
Yes, your worth is never up for a debate.
When is it up for debate?
Sometimes never.
Okay.
Always never.
Okay. But
Sometimes
homegirl,
never.
I don't get paid till, next week, and I just paid my car payment, and my dog, he got hit by a car. I had to get his legs fixed, homegirl. But I really, I be loving how you be doing my edges though, girl. Like, you is the truth.
I
Can you
know.
hook me up?
Yeah, next week.
When you get
Next
paid?
week. Next week.
Let me know when you get paid. I got you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and block out some time, and
Next
you
week I
let
got
me know if that works for you. Because if not, it'll just be open for some self care for me.
you. Yeah, next week I got you.
Okay.
Next week I got you. Unless and I have to work on that too because I will grandpa. I have some. I put it like this. I feel like you really just gotta practice saying no to that unless you really know the character of the person.
Yeah, for
If a
sure.
stranger walked up to me and tried to do that, it'd be immediate no. If someone who I know has showed up every week, every month for years, I'm gonna look out for them. But that is my personal
In the
choice. But
same way.
off the rip, somebody who just found me, no, never. So let me be clear. I look out for the cookout, but they have supported me with every price increase, from the low to the high. those are the people that I will accommodate for. And I just want to put that out because loyalty is,
And we love you guys. We
we
appreciate you
love
guys.
y'all.
We
Just to
really
make
do.
that clear.
We really
But
do.
if you just met me and you like my work and you want to see me that way, I know.
Okay.
But anyway,
What time
um,
is it?
oh my God, we gotta go. But I want to shout out.
Yes.
Would you want to wrap it up, or can I quickly shout them out?
No, absolutely no. I know that we are shouting out the nonprofit today, but we didn't get to plug in the actual
I'll
information.
say it. I'll say it.
Right. So
So
that's why.
you put it down. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and take that off the screen. But so I want to shout out my mother, her sisters, my aunties. We love y'all. We see y'all. They have a nonprofit organization. It is called Divine Fountain of Hope Women's Center. They just had their first fundraiser on this past Saturday. I was not able to attend, but I was there in spirit. And guys, this foundation is here to help women avoid, if they can, unwanted pregnancies by other preventionary options instead of abortion and things like that. They want to help you get resources to keep the child, or go into other things like adoption and present yourself with other options. It's faith based, no judgment, and they will help you get on your feet. They will help you reposition and redirect your life, and you will be surrounded by support, love. You have options for therapy, but you don't have to be alone if you are someone who is dealing with the unwanted pregnancy, but you don't want to go the route of abortion. We're not saying that you shouldn't, because I don't want to misspeak for the organization, but for women who don't want to go the route of abortion, this nonprofit has resources for you. Okay?
Wow, that's really awesome. I'm really
Yeah.
happy to hear that there are other women out here, other mothers actually,
Yeah.
because I have the honor of knowing some of these beautiful ladies that you
Mhm.
mentioned, and they're mothers. So just to have a network and a community of mothers who have that experience and that are passionate about
Yeah.
helping our sisters. So I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing what you guys got going on. Congratulations.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations to you guys.
Yes,
You guys.
Divine, Divine Fountain of Hope Women's Center. I will tag it down below. We love it.
Yes.
So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Let's go ahead and close out then.
Let's close out, boo.
It was a great show. This is not bad at all. So, guys, for the listeners, for the viewers, for the ones on YouTube, for the ones on Facebook, we appreciate you for tuning in to the Beauty Vault. We thank you for spending time with us. We hope you enjoy. No, we know you enjoyed this show, and we want you to continue our following us and continue our journey on other platforms. And I just want to also remind you guys to go to Facebook and or Instagram and find our education page. It's DHG Pro University on Facebook. Again, that's DHG Pro University on Facebook. I am BB Nicole. I am the lead educator for extensions. My co-host is Trin, and she is the lead educator for all things natural hair care. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Trin, and let you say your closing words.
Yes, yes, yes. It was definitely an honor to join you today,
Mhm.
sister. And I'm glad to also hear earlier that we've been on the same wave of just positive production today.
Yeah.
So shout out to you. Keep doing what you're doing, girl.
You too.
I'm grateful for each and every person that is watching this live, that will listen to this podcast later on. I definitely encourage you to share it with any beauty professionals that are out there. If you're a stylist, you're a barber, you're estheticians, if you're stylist owners, you probably not salon
Salon
owners.
owners.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can definitely relate to our podcast today. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I'm grateful for the life
Yeah.
that the Most High has chose to breathe in your lungs. I'm grateful for your talents. I'm grateful for your passions. I'm grateful that now you know your worth and your value even more.
Even more.
And I look forward to you guys joining us back for the things that we have going on in the future. And
Yes.
Mm,
Oh yeah, catch us live every week, every Monday at 9:30. Again, for the
Monday at
listeners.
9:30.
Yeah.
Sometimes we be late because I be late.
Sometimes it we be late. We're doing better. Not me. She doing better.
I was on
I'll
time
be
today.
here. And today you were on time.
I
Yes.
was on time. Okay, and I took a
Yes.
nap and woke up on
Yes.
time. Okay.
So it showed. The flow is just beautiful.
All right, all right. So
All
we're gonna
right.
end this in
So
4, 3, 2, 1.